happy Monday night. It is a flip lesson. I know you have missed these, so we're going to have one tonight, and it's all about understanding verbals. A verbal is a verb in disguise. And if you make it to the end of this presentation, which you have to because it's your homework, you'll get to see Justin and I in disguise. They're great disguises, let me tell you. So for this flip video, you need to make a 3-flap horizontal foldable. You're going to want to trim it down so it fits in your composition book. You're going to want to write verbals, verbs in disguise, participles, gerunds, and infinitives. Got it? Pause, get this done, hit play. All right, so you don't have to write anything yet. I will tell you as soon as you have to start writing something. There are 3 types of verbals. They are participles, gerunds, and infinitives, which you probably figured out from making your foldable. These are examples of each. The frightened cat scratched my eye. Running seemed tiresome at first, and sometimes I like to swing, and sometimes I like to slide. You don't know what they are yet, but I'm going to go into it a little bit further. Here we go. Some more specific examples. Frightened describes cat. It's a participle. Running functions as a subject or a noun. It's a gerund. To swing and to slide functions as direct objects. I can't speak today, and they are functioning as nouns. See, it's going to tell you that now because I forgot to click as I was going through all that. Wasn't that great? So, on the front flap, before you even open it of participle, please write that it acts as an adjective. So put a bullet point and say acts as an adjective. Great. So now you see the crying woman left the movie theater. Frustrated, the child ran away from home. Crying describes woman. It looks like a verb. It's actually an adjective. Frustrated describes child. Looks like a verb. Actually an adjective in this sentence. Don't you love the English language? So what I would like you to write in the notes is open up your flap, put a bullet point. Verb that acts as an adjective should be on the front of the flap, and you need to write that participles always end in ing or ed or en, nd, or t, depending on if it's an irregular verb. But it's a verb that ends in ing, present, ed, past, or en, nd, or t. Here are the examples I want you to write on the bottom half of your flap. Number 1, the crying baby had a wet diaper. Number 2, shaken, he walked away from the wrecked car. Number 3, the burning log fell off the fire. And number 4, smiling, she hugged the teddy bear. See if you can figure out what the participle is in each sentence is and underline it. And there they are. Crying describes baby. Shaken describes he. Wrecked describes car. This is your present participle. These are your past participles. Burning describes log, and smiling describes she. Okay, you're done with participles, but just as a quick review. A participle is a verb that ends in ing or ed and is used as an adjective. It is always near a noun or a pronoun. A participle must be placed as close to the nouns or pronouns that it modifies, otherwise you have a dangling participle. So participles really like nouns. Think of them as a couple. Participles and nouns like to date. A participle phrase is set off with a comma when it comes to the beginning of a sentence. Laughing aloud, Mrs. Clark gave everyone an A, which I would love to do. Love to, so work hard. Close your participle flap. Gerunds. On the front of your gerund flap, write a verbal that acts like a noun. Examples, running is a great exercise, and most people enjoy eating. You don't have to write either of those down. There they are. Okay. You do need to know that they can be a subject. So on the top part of your flap, write it can be a subject, a direct object, and you can write DO, a subject complement, only if it's a predicate noun, or the object of a preposition. So it can be anything a noun can be. Anything. You need to know that. And it always, always, always ends in ing. That's the nice thing about a gerund. If it doesn't end in ing, it's not a gerund. So here are the examples I want you to write. Talking is a disruptive activity. Oh, by the way, you're writing these on the bottom half of your flap, and you're trying to identify the gerund by underlining it. My son loves playing with his dinosaur. And the doctor gave studying all his attention. Right? Did you get those written? So here are the gerunds. Sentence number 1, talking is your gerund, and it's functioning as a subject. And number 2, playing is a gerund, and it's functioning as a direct object. And in number 3, studying is a gerund, and it's functioning also as a direct object. All right, infinitive flap, almost done. You guys are doing great. Don't you love these flip lessons? They go by so fast. So an infinitive is a verbal that appears with the word to and acts as a noun adjective, or adverb. 95% of the time it's going to be a noun. So guess noun if you have to guess. Some examples might be to study, to read, to sleep. You're going to have to be very careful to make sure that you're not confusing prepositions that start with to and infinitives. If it's to and then a verb, it's always an infinitive, because remember, you can never have a verb in a prepositional phrase. Never. You just can't do it. So you should have written this down on the top of your flap, both of these bullet points. All right. So here are your examples that you're writing on the bottom half of the flap. To wait seemed foolish when action was required. Doesn't that sound like a normal sentence everybody says? Everyone wanted to go. His ambition is to fly. He lacked the strength to resist. All right, so let's find your infinitives. Hopefully you underlined them. In this case, it's to wait, and it's functioning as a subject. In this case, it's to go, and it's functioning as a direct object because it follows an action verb, wanted. In this case, it's to fly. It's functioning as a predicate noun, following the linking verb is. And in this case, it's to resist, which modifies strength. So it's functioning as an adjective. You'll almost never see an infinitive functioning as an adjective, so guess noun. That's what I'm just saying. And that's it. Your notes are all done. Aren't you proud? Video's not done quite yet, so still pay attention. Okay, see if you can identify the verbals in the following sentence and decide if they're participles, gerunds, or infinitives. This is just extra practice. Meditating brings great physical health. Notice it ends in ing, and it functions as a subject. What would it be? The explorers struggled to find the remote colony. That's a tough one. Oh, no, it's not. There's that to find combination. And number 3, the heated pool is great for sore muscles. What would that be? What describes pool? There you go. Meditating is your gerund, functioning as a noun. To find is your infinitive, functioning as a direct object. And heated is your participle, describing pool. This is what your note should look like. Some of these I told you to put on the front flap, so if you put some of this information on the front flap, do not worry about it. It's fine. These are all your examples. Copy them down if you don't have them, and you'll be happy. Now, next week, notice that we will practice each verbal individually, so you can become verbal experts, just what you always dreamed of, I know. So have a great Monday night, and here is my picture. There is Justin and I in disguise. His mustache do you like better? I'm thinking mine. Have a great night.